Okay, I don't know what happened. I'm trying to see if maybe... Give me a second, guys. I don't know what happened. Literally, I was, So I was doing a live stream, and for some reason, it went off. I had to restart my, what is it called? I had to restart my, my stream, basically. Give me a second. I don't know if there's a way to actually... Hold on. So I'm gonna put this... I don't know if maybe... I don't know if there's a way that I can actually make this put this on my YouTube channel. I really don't think so. And I don't know why it says a week ago. It was not a week ago that I streamed this. It was literally today. Anyways, I don't know. I guess I'll just, it's weird because I don't know if maybe, well, who knows? I don't know. I was doing this live stream for a reason, and for some reason it just did not want to, I don't even think it posted to my... Well, it did post to my YouTube channel, but, I don't know if on my YouTube channel you can see it. I really don't know. I really don't know. I'll be right back, everybody. I'm gonna go do something very quickly, and I'll be right back. I need to go get something to drink. So give me a few minutes. Oops. Give me just a few minutes, everyone. I'm gonna go get something to drink, and then we'll continue with what we were doing. Hold on. Okay. I'll be back. drink. Let me turn the fan on. Alright, so let's continue where we left off. I don't know what happened in the last stream that it just kind of like, that it kind of just went off, I guess. I don't know what happened. Anyways, let's continue with this. So, let's see here. Let me go back to my OneNote. Very quickly. Okay, so the X-Intercept, okay, so this is where I left off. The X-Intercept is, and I'm gonna go ahead and just put a part 2 to this. I'm gonna just rename this and rename it as part 2 very quickly. Because I feel as though, give me a second, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and just do something really quick. Give me 1 second. Okay. So, okay, there we go. So let's continue where we left off. I don't know what happened, guys. I'm so sorry. Honestly, it just, I don't know what happened. Okay. So, I really don't know if... I'm just gonna look up, like, graphing paper. Because, like, okay, so X and Y axis. I'm just gonna do this because I really don't know what else to do. Like, not that I can't do it on my OneNote. I don't have a problem doing that. It's just, for me to actually be doing this every single time, it's kind of, like, I really don't want to have to be doing it. That is when we graph functions, okay? So this is only going to be for when we graph functions, and yeah. Maybe I can find a better one. I don't know. Let me just do this one. I'm gonna do this one. Okay. So this is gonna be our graph, and it's not the best one, but it's better than having to draw it every single time. Okay, so for this function, where we left off was X and Y-intercepts, and we already did factoring, like quadratics and stuff. So I'm not really gonna go over that again. But basically, so it says find the X and Y-intercepts, and if you don't know how to graph, like, what is it called? If you don't know how to graph linear functions, you can always just do an XY table. So you can do, for example, let's do x equals -5. When x equals -5, and we can do, this is going to be -3x plus 6, right? So when x equals -5, we have -3 times -5 plus 6. That's going to be 15 plus 6, which is 21. And then we have -4, so -3 times -4 plus 6, that's going to be 12 plus 6, which is 18. And then we have -3. -3 times -3 is 9. And then plus 6 is 15, so... And then -2, when we do -2, -3 times -2 plus 6 is going to be 0. And then -1, when we do -1, -3 times -1 plus 6, that's 9. Hold on. My bad, this is 12. Oh my goodness. And then 0. So let me move this. Let me move this over here. Okay. So then 0, -3 times 0 plus 6, that's going to be 0 plus 6, so it's 6. And then 1, -3 times 1 plus 6 is -3 plus 6, which is 3. So, basically, so if we keep going, and the thing is, so basically in algebra, the y-intercept is where x equals 0. So if I do x equals 0, sorry, the x-intercept. The x-intercept is where y equals 0. So where y equals 0, that means that x is going to be 2, or yeah, x equals 2. So I'm going to plot the point to 0 right here. And then I'm going to go, so basically my slope is -3, so I'm going to go down 3 to the right 1. So 1, 2, 3, 1. And then I'm going to go up 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. And I'm just going to keep going. 1, 2, 3, 1. Up 3, left 1. And then 1, 2, 3, 1. And then I believe that's it. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the right side. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1. And then I think that's it, right? So with these points, basically, I have, so 1, 2, 3. I have this one here, and I'm just gonna draw a straight line going through those points, right? So basically it would look something, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm gonna try my best to just make it as best as I can. Okay, and something like that, right? So let me just kind of fix this a little bit. So this is kind of how it would look, and yeah, that's how it would look. And you see here that the relationship with this graph is that there's, so this is 1 unit, and then it goes 3 units. So it's literally, it's like this. So it goes, this is run, and this is rise. So the slope m is rise over run. So that's why it looks like that, right? It goes down by 3 and to the right 1. This is -3. And it goes again like this, 1 and then -3, and then it goes again like this, 1, or sorry, -3 and 1, right? That's how it would look. Now, now you can do it by plotting points, right? Now the distance formula is another one. So basically, if you think about it, the distance formula is really, what is it? It's like it's very similar to the slope of a line, but actually the distance formula is really just the Pythagorean theorem, if you think about it, but it is in terms of x and y, right? So the distance, so for example, this would be the distance between those 2 points, right? Now let's say that, let's just kind of erase this a little bit, right? And let's say that I want to find, find the distance between -1, 3, and 2, 1. So let's just plot those 2 points, right? -1, 3, 2, 1. Hopefully you guys can read that. This is 2, 1. This is negative 1, 3. Now, if we draw a line segment between those 2 points, so basically, if we draw a line segment, we want to find, and let me actually make this a little bit bigger. So if we want to find the distance, so we want to know how much is this, right? And all we have is the coordinates. You can, like, the only thing about doing problems like this is that they're not always going to give you a graph, okay? So that's why the distance formula is very important to remember. Let this be x1, y1. Let this be x2, y2. So for example, like I'm trying to think. So basically, you can do it the following way. You can either say that the distance is equal to the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Or you can do Pythagorean Theorem. You can say that this is, so to go from negative 1 to 2, that is a distance of 3. And then to go from 1 to 3, that is a distance of 2. So basically you're going to say 3 squared plus 2 squared equals c squared, right? Because this is c. So you have 9 plus 4 equals c squared. So then 13 equals c squared. So c equals square root 13. And you would get that this has a distance of square root 13, right? Or a length of square root 13, right? So here, that's honestly how they do it. Let's see, hold on. Now, if you want to find the midpoint between 2 line segments, I'm gonna just go to the practice problems, because that way it's a lot better. So for example, negative 4, so let's do this without the graph. Negative 4, or was it negative 4? Hold on. Negative 4, 1, so negative 4, 1, and 3, 4, okay? So this would be, so this is x1, y1, this is x2, y2, right? So then we have the square root of y2 minus y1 squared plus x2 minus x1 squared, right? So then it would be 4 minus 1 squared plus 3 minus negative 4 squared. So we have 3 squared plus 7 squared, which is 9 plus 49, which is square root of 58. That's the distance. You always have to know this formula, really. Now the midpoint is a different thing. The midpoint, so we call the distance formula in algebra. Okay. Now the midpoint formula is a different thing. If you want to do, so for example, let this be x1, y1, and let this be x2, y2. So if I join those two lines, and I'm going to try to like make it like that, right? And there's a distance, so there's like a midpoint between those two lines, or between those 2 points, right? This is the midpoint. Now how do I find that midpoint? Well, the midpoint formula says, for example, it says that it's going to be so if you want to find the midpoint, it's going to be x1 plus x2 over 2, comma y1 plus y2 over 2, right? So for example, let's say I have find the midpoint of 2, 3, and, or between, so between 2, 3, and 4, I'm going to say 4, 1. So I'm going to say this is x1, y1, this is x2, y2. So, basically, this will be, so it's going to be 2 plus 4 over 2, comma 3 plus 1 over 2. So it'll be 6 over 2, comma 4 over 2. This is going to be 3, 2. So if you look at it on the coordinate plane, if I plot those 2 points, 2, 3, and 4, 1, right? Then obviously the midpoint, you see how this is the midpoint? Because they're equidistant from each other. This distance is equal to this distance. So whenever we have a midpoint, this midpoint x naught, y naught, and let's say this is x1, y1, this is x2, y2. Let's name it x1 plus x2 comma y1 plus y2 over 2. Then that means that if that is a midpoint, that means that this distance is really equal to this, or let me do a different color, is really equal to this distance. So if x1, y1, and x2, y2 have a midpoint, then and point A is x1, y1, point B is x1 plus x2 over 2, comma y1 plus y2 over 2, and point C is x2, y2, then that means that line segment AB is congruent to line segment BC. You learn more about this in geometry, but what I mean by that is that they have the same distance or the same length, right? It's not drawn to scale, but that's what I mean over here when I look at this graph here. That means that D1 is equal to D2. The distance of this to this is equal to the distance from this to this. And that is if I name it A, B, C. That means that line segment AB is congruent to line segment BC. You learn more about that in geometry though. But that is what that means. Now, so let me see. Give me 1 second, guys. So we kind of already solved linear equations earlier in the last part. So, what section is this? Hold on. That's 2.2. Hold on. Let's move on to complex numbers. I'm going to just move on to complex numbers because I feel like that's a little bit better. Or not better, but like, I feel like we already did linear equations earlier. So the thing about complex numbers is that, okay, okay, so maybe I can do a few, hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna just, okay. I guess I can just look at, yeah, I'll look at complex numbers. So, let's just go to the practice. So for example, number 15 says 3 plus 2i. So let's just do complex numbers. So adding complex numbers. And I may just stop this stream in a few minutes, guys, only because I feel like I've been streaming like literally all day. But we will continue tomorrow. But I'm just gonna go over this very quickly. So complex numbers. So basically, the way that you would add a complex number is 2 plus 3i plus, so we have 2 plus 3i, or I mean 3 plus 2i, my bad. 3 plus 2i plus 5 minus 3i, right? And, hold on. So the way that you would do this is you would say 3 plus 5 plus I times 2 minus 3. So really you would say 8 plus I times negative 1, which is 8 minus I. If I said 2 plus 3i plus 7 minus 4i, this would be 2 plus 7 plus 3i minus 4i. This would be 9 minus I. Okay. Now, if I was subtracting, if I said 3 minus I minus 7 plus 2I, this would be 3 minus I minus 7 minus 2I, because you're doing distributive property. So it's 3 minus I minus 7 minus 2I, right? So 3 minus 7, so we have 3, and then we have negative 7. 3 minus 7, and then we have minus I minus 2I. So 3 minus 7 is negative 4. Negative I minus 2I, that's negative 5I. If I say 3 plus 4I minus 2 minus 3I, that'll be 3 plus 4I minus 2 plus 3I. So then I have 3 minus 2 plus 4I plus 3I. That'll be 1 plus 7I. Okay, and now multiplying complex numbers. So basically, if I have 2 minus I times 3 minus 4I, I'm going to do 2 times 3, FOIL method, minus 2 times negative 4I, or plus 2 times negative 4I, excuse me, minus I times 3, minus I times negative 4I. So we have 6 minus 8I minus 3I, and then minus, it's going to be, actually it's going to be plus 4I squared. Remember that I is equal to the square root of negative 1, so I squared equals negative 1. So then we have 6 minus 11I plus 4 times negative 1. So then you have 6 minus 4 minus 11I. So then it's going to be 2 minus 11I. Okay. If I say 2 plus I over 3 minus I, I'm going to go ahead and multiply by the conjugate. That's going to be 3 plus I over 3 plus I. So I'm going to say 2 plus I times 3 plus I over 3 squared minus I squared. This is going to be 6 plus 2I plus 3I plus I squared over 9 minus, and then I squared is just negative 1. So I have 6 plus 5I plus negative 1, because I squared is negative 1 again. Let me try to label this very quickly. Okay, so then we have over 9 plus 1, so then it's going to be 6 minus 1 plus 5I over 10, so then I have 5 plus 5I over 10. This is 5 times 1 plus I over 5 times 2. This simplifies to 1/2 plus I over 2. Okay guys, so I think I'm gonna stop it there because I've been streaming all day, and if you didn't watch my last stream, I believe it is in my YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure. But anyways, with that being said, guys, whoever was watching, thank you so much for watching. I'm so sorry for earlier if it stopped. I don't know what happened, but I will continue with this tomorrow. If anybody has any questions, let me know. And please like, comment, and or subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much, guys.